In a breathtaking turn of events, Britain's political firmament is fracturing under the weight of scandal, betrayal, and rebellion. At the heart of this maelstrom stands Keir Starmer, the beleaguered Labour leader, whose reign is teetering on the edge of collapse. Once heralded as the steady hand to guide Labour into a new era, Starmer now finds himself exposed, his fraudulent machinations within the party laid bare by none other than his ousted predecessor, Jeremy Corbyn. As Labour splinters from within and a resurgent Corbyn assembles a rival coalition of independent MPs, the stage is set for a seismic upheaval that could redefine the nation's political destiny. The timing? Catastrophic. The stakes? Monumental. Before we plunge into this electrifying saga, a clarion call to you, dear reader. If this unraveling drama grips your soul, if you crave the unvarnished truth behind Britain's political implosion, then act now. Comment below with your thoughts, your outrage, your predictions, and subscribe to this channel immediately. Don't miss a single pulse-pounding update as this saga unfolds. Your subscription is your ticket to the front lines of history. Join us, or risk being left in the dark as the storm breaks. The Labour Party, once a monolithic bastion of progressive ideals, is now a battlefield strewn with the wreckage of broken promises and shattered loyalties. On one flank, Keir Starmer grapples with an internal mutiny that threatens to topple his authority. His own MPs, those he presumed loyal, are in open revolt, their fury ignited by his draconian welfare cuts. These slashes to the social safety net, targeting the most vulnerable, have painted Starmer as a cold-hearted technocrat, a far cry from the champion of the working class he once vowed to be. The cuts, cloaked as fiscal prudence, have instead become a lightning rod, electrifying dissent within his ranks. Yet, the peril within pales beside the tempest brewing beyond Labour's walls. Jeremy Corbyn, the former leader unceremoniously cast out by Starmer's purge, has refused to fade into obscurity. Far from licking his wounds, Corbyn has emerged as a phoenix from the ashes, wielding a weapon more potent than Starmer could have foreseen, a coalition of independent MPs poised to strike at the heart of Labour's dominion. This is no mere protest, it is a calculated assault, a bid to seize the mantle of the left from Starmer's faltering grasp. The timing of this dual assault could not be more ruinous. As Labour burns from within, the world beyond Britain delivers a crushing blow. Donald Trump, newly emboldened, has slapped a staggering 25% tariff on UK steel, a move that mocks Starmer's pleas for economic reprieve. This transatlantic betrayal exposes Starmer's diplomatic impotence, leaving British workers to bear the brunt of his failure. Meanwhile, Labour's leadership pours support into the debt-ravaged husk of Manchester United, a grotesque misstep as ordinary Britons stagger under the weight of soaring costs. The optics are devastating, a party adrift, its priorities grotesquely skewed, its leader floundering. Into this chaos steps Jeremy Corbyn, his timing as impeccable as it is devastating. Could he have chosen a more opportune moment to strike? The answer resounds with chilling clarity. Yes. This is Starmer's darkest nightmare made flesh, a rival not content to snipe from the shadows, but one who is forging a formidable alliance to challenge Labour's very existence. Corbyn's resurgence is not merely personal vengeance, it is a clarion call to a disenchanted electorate, a promise of an alternative to the rotting edifice of Starmer's regime. Corbyn's gambit is nothing short of revolutionary. He is assembling a cadre of independent MPs, 5 in total, who triumphed over Labour candidates in the 2024 general election. This is no fluke, no quirk of electoral fortune. These victors represent a seismic shift, a rejection of the traditional party machinery that Starmer embodies. Never in modern British history have so many independents stormed Parliament-hallowed halls at once, a testament to an electorate desperate for salvation from the tired duopoly of Labour and Conservative rule. What makes this coalition a dagger at Starmer's throat is its potential heft. Should Corbyn formalise this bloc, it would rival Reform UK's parliamentary presence and surpass the Greens in numbers. Picture it, a small but ferocious storm, wielding real influence in debates, committees, and votes. These are not haphazard rebels, they are disciplined warriors, united by a shared creed. Many campaigned on pro-Palestinian platforms, tapping into the fury of communities, particularly Muslim voters, who feel abandoned by Starmer's equivocal stance on Gaza. This is a coalition forged in the crucible of betrayal, its blades sharpened by Labour's own failures. Corbyn himself has sounded the battle cry. I was elected by my constituents to speak out against the genocide in Gaza, against child poverty, and against the demonization of migrants and refugees, he declared, his words a rallying call to his allies. I'm proud to work alongside my fellow independent colleagues to make sure our constituents' voices are heard. This is not the rhetoric of a man in retreat, it is the manifesto of a leader building a legitimate parliamentary force, one that could reshape Britain's political topography. For Starmer, the wound cuts deepest in the seats Labour lost, constituencies that should have been impregnable fortresses. These were not marginal battlegrounds but strongholds where Labour's banner once flew unchallenged. That independence, many aligned with Corbyn's vision, could wrest these prizes from Starmer's grip reveals a chasm in his leadership, a vulnerability that could prove fatal. These defeats are not mere setbacks, they are a public referendum on Starmer's reign, a verdict delivered in the language of ballots. He has failed to inspire, failed to unite, failed to deliver. One of Corbyn's prospective allies minced no words in articulating their mission. Many MPs feel hamstrung by party politics, they proclaimed. We want to show that normal people can win an election. This is a direct indictment of the sclerotic party system Starmer defends, a system that has birthed his leadership and now threatens to bury it. Should these independents coalesce into a formal bloc, they could unlock public funding for research and campaigning, resources to fuel a sustained insurgency against Labour's dominance. This is not a fleeting rebellion. It is the embryonic stirrings of a new left-wing movement, one that could supplant Labour as the standard-bearer of progressive ideals. While Corbyn's actions carve a path to power, his words inflict wounds no less grievous. When he brands Starmer's welfare cuts morally bankrupt and thunders, "There's never any money for the poor, but always enough for war," he dismantles the very foundation of Starmer's claim to Labour's soul. These are not idle barbs, they are a clarion call to the dispossessed, a reminder of the values Starmer has forsaken. The timing of this verbal barrage is exquisite. Corbyn was physically barred from a Labour meeting where Starmer unveiled cuts to disability and child benefits, policies Corbyn deems anathema to the party's ethos. Starmer's plan to shrink welfare spending as families drown in a sea of rising energy and food costs has gifted Corbyn the perfect stage. The contrast is stark. Starmer, the austere bureaucrat slashing lifelines; Corbyn, the fiery prophet decrying injustice. This is more than a policy dispute. It is a battle for Labour's identity, a struggle to define its future. And Starmer, ensnared by his own choices, appears ill-equipped to weather the storm. Keir Starmer stands at the epicenter of a political cataclysm that threatens to obliterate his tenure. From within, his MPs rebel against welfare cuts that betray Labour's heritage. From without, Jeremy Corbyn's coalition gathers strength, a spectre of vengeance and renewal. The steel tariffs, the Manchester United debacle, the hemorrhaging of safe seats, all converge to paint a portrait of a leader out of his depth, a man whose grip on power grows ever more tenuous. Corbyn's strategic brilliance lies in his exploitation of this moment. His coalition is not merely a thorn in Starmer's side. It is a harbinger of a potential realignment on the left. As Labour voters desert in droves, disillusioned by Starmer's reign, Corbyn offers a beacon of hope, a promise of a politics unshackled from the compromises that have hollowed out Labour's core. The battle for the party's soul has begun in earnest, and Starmer's survival hangs by a thread. Britain stands on the precipice of a political reckoning. Keir Starmer, once the anointed saviour of Labour, now faces a reckoning that could consign him to history's dustbin. Jeremy Corbyn, the outcast turned insurgent, wields a coalition that could fracture Labour's dominance and birth a new force on the left. The stakes are nothing less than the future of progressive politics in Britain, a future that may no longer belong to Starmer. As this drama unfolds, one truth rings clear: the battle is far from over. Starmer's leadership teeters, but Corbyn's triumph is not yet assured. Will Labour heal its wounds, or will it splinter irrevocably? Will Corbyn's movement falter, or will it rise to challenge the established order? The answers lie ahead, in a clash that promises to reshape the nation's destiny. Stay tuned, history is being written, and you won't want to miss a moment of it.